The period of Advent is a restoration of the kingdom of David. And this period of the restoration of the kingdom of David is coming with a fulfillment of God's covenant. The God of Israel, who promised to Abraham that his descendants would be many as the stars in the heavens, many as the sand at the seashore. The God who promised to Abraham that nations will be blessed in his name has forgiven his people Israel. The God who made his covenant with David when David decided to build him a house. In the second book of Samuel, chapter 7, God made this important covenant with David. The first is that the scepter of power will not leave the house of David, and the son of David will build him a house. And all the nations will go to worship. All the nations. But we know the history of the Old Testament, the history of the book of the people of Israel tells us that the kingdom of David was destroyed. Even the temple was destroyed. The people are in exile. But there is something important that is coming here in the first reading through the lips of Prophet Isaiah. A word of comfort. And this word of comfort is to calm the hearts of the people of Israel, who thought they are in the mess of their sins, who thought they are now in exile, who thought God has forgotten them. And God sent his mouthpiece to tell them, you have a word of comfort. You have a word of comfort. Wipe your tears. Cry your last cry. Because there is a voice shouting in the wilderness. And this voice is saying, prepare the way of the Lord. Make straight in the desert a high way for our God. Every valley shall be lifted up, and every mountain and hill shall be made low. Sin that has taken us deep into the ground, the Lord will level that ground. Our hatred for each other and even for God that has made mountains on our heads will be leveled. The pride of human beings that it made man to go back to the sin of Adam, that it may crack the wisdom of God and become gods themselves, that pride will be leveled, will be humbled. And only those who will change their hearts. And the reason for this, the gospel tells us, is that God does not will that the little ones should perish. It's not here to destroy, it's here to welcome us back. But are you ready? Are you ready to receive God? Are you ready to be welcomed into the arms of God, to be called a child of this new kingdom, the fulfillment of the kingdom of Israel? A very big question in our hearts and our minds. That's why, as a parish, we are having this retreat, the 5 days retreat that we started with that very Saturday, when we were here for the teaching, glorifying Jesus as our King and Master in the solemnity of Christ the King. Last week, we had the second day, which was the first Saturday, on the first Saturday of Advent. The second Saturday will be our third, and in the second day of Advent, preparing ourselves that we may come out of our pride, that we may come out of our sins and listen to this God who has no will, who has no ill intentions whatever to destroy us, but to welcome us back to his kingdom. زمن المجيء وزمن التحضير، وانا قاعدين نحضر القلوب بتاعنا، قاعدين نحضر البيوت بتاعنا، قاعدين نحضر ليه؟ لأنه ربنا الإيام بتاع إسرائيل برجل من المملكة بتاعه اللي هو أسسوا من في زمن بتاع إبراهيم، وكلم لإبراهيم بأنه مثل بتاع إبراهيم يكون زي النجوم في السماوات وزي الرمال والملاء في طرف البحر، وكلم لإبراهيم بأنه عالم بياخذ البركة في اسم بتاع إبراهيم. ربنا الحقق اللي داوود قال داوود يبي بيبني له البيت، لكن حقق لداوود قال عصايا بتاع المملكة بتاع داوود ما بيودوا في العالم هنا، وجرى بتاع داوود يبني بيت له، يبني هيكل له، وقال عالم كله بيجي وبسجد لربنا في بيت داوود في اورشليم. لكن احنا شفنا في حياه بتاع اسرائيل كانوا كلامنا كله ودع، لانه عاصمه التعبديه. ربنا رسل نبي الشيعة عشان بيتكلم العيال بتاع اسرائيل، قال امسح الجمهور بتاعه، لأن ربنا قال عشان بيعزيهم، عشان هو بيحبيهم، عشان هو بيرجعهم في المملكة بتاعهم، وإلا للناس الداعسين، لأنه الخطية بتاعنا شلنا مشاننا بعيد. يسوع المسيح في الإنجيل كلمنا به، قال ربنا ما عنده أي حاجة ثانية في قلب بتاعه عشان هو بيدمر الإنسان، ما عنده قلب بطالة، عشان كده وعد للإنسان البطال فرصة للتغيير، فرصة للتغيير بتاعه. وفي زمن المجيء ده قال احنا جاهزين عشان نغير، عشان نرجع في المملكة الجديد اللي ربنا يسوع المسيح جاي يأسس، وما بس لإسرائيل براءة لكن العالم دور دلالة. وأي واحد يتعامل في كلمة ربنا ده عشان بمسح من كل وسع فينا، وربنا بدينا قلب جديد، قلب بتاع لحم، قلب بتاع عافية، قلب بيجي بيركع في القدام بتاعه بيقول إن أخطأنا يا رب